they have to stay vanilla because you guys were going fast?
Whenever you go fast, you're going to get a more limited defensive skill, play calling deal. I don't know if that was the goal of it. I mean, we did a lot of like empty early on. Whenever you're in empty, you're not going to get crazy things. You need to cover down on all 5 receivers, so you're going to get limited things no matter what you're doing empty.
What do you think of Jalen's performance?
Another outstanding performance, yeah. I mean, threw some unbelievable balls, made a lot of plays. This was a really, a great, well-rounded game for him, it seemed like. I mean, I have to go back and watch the tape, but even when I watch the tape, I'm not assessing the quarterback, so I just know the offense felt like it was moving really well, and I think it seemed like Jalen was doing another, I don't even know what the numbers were, but it seemed phenomenal again.
What about the offensive line tonight?
Well, we certainly communicated better. I mean, we knew it was going to be a tough matchup coming into this. I mean, they have 2 premier edge players, and inside there's no slouches right there with Harrison and Dalvin Tomlinson. So, I mean, they really don't have a weakness up front. To have great linebackers, we know one of them is Jordan Hicks, and then obviously Eric Kendrick's been a really good player for a long time. So, I mean, personnel-wise, we knew they had a good defense. So, I think for the most part, it felt like we did a good job of keeping the pocket clean. And it felt like the communication for sure was much better.
Jordan Mailata said he thought that you may have left a little meat on the bone. Do you feel that way?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I think that there's obviously still things to improve on. I mean, I think everybody had plays out there that they want back. And I think, we're all perfectionists, especially in our room. And we know that we can still play better than what we did today. Certainly not disappointed with the performance, but we know that each one of us kind of had plays, and in particular penalties. Those are the ones that you try not to get. The holding calls really can stall out drives big time. So
that first drive of the game, did that really kind of set the tone for the game? And was that probably your best first drive of the year, the first your best drive of the season so far? I know it's a long way to go, but
yeah, we only have one other first drive, but I think it was obviously whenever you receive the ball, if you can go out and score right away you're putting the pressure on the opposing offense and the opposing team. So whenever you go out there and score in the first drive, that's a huge tempo setter. A big part of the game, usually how you start off a half and how you finish a half, end up being huge momentum players for the game and crucial moments. So obviously it's really it's really good when you start out the game like that.
Didn't seem like it blitzed much. Didn't seem like it blitzed much. Were you surprised based upon what happened last week?
No, I mean they're paying a lot of money they have a really, really good front four. And typically when you have a good front four, you don't pressure as often or as much. You let those guys kind of rush or play coverage. So I think that's in line with kind of their DNA.
Yeah.
We saw the celebration there when you broke through defensively, got to the QB. How did that feel in that moment for you?
I mean, sacking the quarterback is always fun. I mean, I don't think a lot of people appreciate how hard it is to get to the quarterback and actually sack the quarterback. Not alone that, but get the ball out. That was a big time and a big play in the game, and it happened. So I mean, honestly, I think it was a coverage sack. He held the ball and hitched the ball a couple times in the coverage sack. So overall, it always feels good to get after the quarterback.
Especially at that point in the game, when it felt like the Vikings had been dysfunctional, but they were sort of getting it together offensively, and then you're able to disrupt them like that. How much do you think that kind of turned the game once again back into your dominating sort of favor?
Well, we knew we had to get the crowd back in the game, and the fans did a great job today keeping it loud, and you got to keep them in it. I think we played a really good football team today, honestly, and I think as things go on, and we still got a lot of things to fix on our end and be better, and just look forward to obviously coming off a short week and getting ready for the next game.
So you talked about it. You said it was going to be better this week. Was it better? Did things get fixed a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, I think we played against probably one of the best backs in the league, and he's again so much respect for Dalvin Cook. Held him, and to maybe I think under 70 yards, I think, and which we can't be happy with that. We still got to stay hungry, still got to work on ourselves and make it about us.
Speaking of shutting people down, Darius Slay did a heck of a job on Justin Jefferson today. Were you surprised at all by just how dominating he was in this game?
No, I wasn't. I mean, he's a few-time All-Pro, multiple-year Pro Bowler. Guy's been, a pro, and he's really good at what he's doing. He's really good at football. I wasn't surprised. I see what he do in practice every day, so I wasn't surprised. And not so many times you don't see Slay like joking around before a game, and today it was all business. So it felt good to see him go out and get 2 picks. He still owes us 2, so we're excited about it. We got the win.
Hey, Fletcher, after Jalen's touchdown pass to Quez, it's like he turned to you on the sideline, folded his arms up.
I think he was just celebrating. It's part of having fun. And he saw it, threw a great ball, completed it, touchdown. So I can't be more excited for that guy. Everybody excited for him. He's having such success, and he's so humble about it, and we're excited for him.
When the secondary has the 3 interceptions, and it could have been more, what does that tell you about the D-line and what you guys have been able to do that's not going to show up in sack and hurry numbers necessarily?
I think we just got to keep continuing playing together as a unit. I think on one of the picks, Hargrave got a good hit on the quarterback, and that was one of the picks. I think and a couple of them was for pressure, just us in his face. I think as a unit we'll continue to work and be better at things, and continue to having fun. But we're going to enjoy this win tonight. We got a short week coming up. Enjoy it tonight. Get ready for the next opponent.
What was the biggest adjustment that you guys made defensively that allowed for this performance?
Just cleaned up what we did from last week. That's all we did.
What do you say about Jalen's performance today?
Awesome, man. That's what we expect out of him. That's what we know he can do, and that's his standard each and every game. Setting that tone for us. That first drive pretty set the tone for the whole game.
There were some concerns last week. You got the win, but everybody's a little uneasy. Think you guys fixed some things tonight?
A little bit. I mean, like I said, we want to be the best offense in the league, and to be that, we gotta just be sharper on a lot of stuff. I mean, even though we did score 24 points in the first half and kept them from scoring in the second half, we want to score another 24 in the second half. So it's a lot of stuff that we need to grow on and keep building on and keep grounding out. But as so far, we're doing all right. So.
What did you think of Jalen's performance tonight?
Real poise. It was. I ain't gonna say that. Oh, he did a really good job. He did a really good job how he commanded the offense. It just showed the type of leader he is. He just commanded everything. He had everything under control. So I was just kind of sitting back and just watching. Even on the one he was running, and I think he's gonna go out of bounds, and he made the decision to get in the end zone. So.
When did you realize it was going to be one of those nights for him?
One of those nights for him?
Yeah.
I kind of just knew earlier, Saturday, Sunday, just how he was just approaching. We talked about it on the phone and just going over everything. And I just kind of could tell he was just locked in, just on another level this week, because he wants to get better, and so do we. So I could tell early.
You talked a lot about the energy that you thought you'd feel once you came in this building. Was it everything you imagined and more?
It did. It just sucks I didn't get in the box today. So I was trying to feel that energy, but it was everything. The crowd showed up. That third down was loud. They made it really tough for the Vikings today. So, yeah.
I know you had a franchise record-setting debut in Week 1, but to see Jalen spread the ball around as effectively as he did today, I mean, just how reassuring is that for what this team can do in terms of everyone's capability to contribute moving forward?
As I said last week, we got a lot of playmakers on offense. Last week was my week, and here you are today. Smitty went off, Quez had a touchdown, and Dallas had a good day. Miles ran the ball good. We got a lot of playmakers. I think the toughest job is on the OC, Shane, because he got to call up plays for everybody and try to get everybody involved. And he has a tough job. So. What
was it about the game plan early that allowed you guys to dominate, rack up so many yards, and a pretty sizable lead pretty early in this one?
We kind of knew. For me, I kind of knew they was going to kind of try to double me, so they kind of put me on the backside a lot of things and try to just get me out the way sometimes. And when I went to the strong side or whatever, I made plays. But it was really I was kind of decoy sometimes today. I was perfectly fine with that. We got the dub and the guys went off. So
what was your favorite thing that Jalen did?
Favorite thing? It was the run. And it was the celebration. It was just he was like it was easy or something. So
after seeing Slay all summer, any surprise about the start he's up to?
Nope. No, he had it on his mind all week. And I think Justin Jefferson had 1 catch and he had 2. You know, so that's crazy. That's a big stat. You know, he had a hell of a day. He should have had like 4 picks, but you know, he still had a great day. So hats off to him.
He's gonna slay. You gonna stick with the 3 Batmans nickname? Does that work for you?
Yeah, that worked. That worked. You know, like I said, unfortunately, I didn't get in the box, and we had a surprise, but you know, yet to come.
You said that TD run by Jalen was your favorite thing that he did today. When you're his teammate out on the field watching that happen, and 1, he pulls that fake, and then 2, he makes that move to stay in bounds and powers through the end zone, what goes through your mind as you're watching that whole thing unfold the way it did?
Okay, get the first. Okay, be safe. Go out of bounds. Okay, score a touchdown. You know, so you know, different type of emotions. So you know, I was happy he got in the box today. So yeah.
Saw you in the medical tent briefly. What's going on?
To go to the bathroom. I do that all the time. I get an IV before the game, and yeah, I use the tent. I use the bathroom all the time.
Honestly, the safety had, you know, he had bit on the out route, and then I just kept going. Regardless if the safety was there or not, Jalen told me he was throwing it, so I gave it all I had.
Jalen seemed to be on across the board on nearly everything tonight. When did you realize that this was going to be a night where Jalen was just going to dominate and absolutely break out on a national stage?
Honestly, I've seen him before the game. He was quiet. He was just, you know, throwing the ball around. You know, he ain't say much. He was just in his head. You know, he was just ready to play. I could tell he was ready to play.
How'd it feel for you to get that one?
It felt good to finally score before the last game of the season, so it kind of felt good.
Can you tell when the offense is clicking so well so early in a game like that there's kind of a difference where you can dominate a team the way you did early in this one?
Yeah, so when we get that spark early and we get get a couple first downs early, you know, we just had that momentum and we just keep feeding off of it.
Was this game fun just because it seemed like everyone got involved?
Yes, definitely. That's the beauty of it, honestly. That's the beauty of this game. When everybody touched the ball, everybody's smiling, having fun, you know, it's exciting.
Yeah, you know, credit to coach. We had a good game plan coming in. We were going to get to the line, go tempo, try to wear them out, you know, get them tired and then go from there. But, you know, we executed. We communicated really well, and, you know, Jalen was doing his thing out there. It was fun to be out there. Shoot, you know, besides throwing me the ball, probably his second touchdown run where I was lead blocking, he followed, you know, that gets me going. You know, we're going to have a lot of touchdowns this year. It was fun. But no, that long 26-yard touchdown run is pretty sweet. Nah, it's just more like I played with Jalen enough that I feel like I know what he's thinking, he knows what I'm thinking, and you know, he makes plays, and it's fun to be out there with him.
There were so many questions about Jalen's arm coming into the season. What do you think he proved tonight, and how happy were you for him to be able to see that?
Yeah, I don't know who was worried about that, but I know nobody in the building was worried about his arm. You know, we got full confidence in the man, and, you know, he comes and shows it every week.
There were some concerns last week. You got the win, but you guys were a little uneasy about everything. Do you think you fixed that?
You know, we definitely weren't perfect today. We left a lot out on the table. But, you know, that's a part of football. It's still early in the season. We'll be back to work on Wednesday, trying to fix it all and get better.
Were you surprised that Jalen got to the goal line?
Nah, he never surprises me. You know, like I say all the time, he's an explosive player. You know, it doesn't matter when he starts scrambling, people are in trouble.